So I had a friend ask me if I've ever heard of Forex Trendy, and to be quite honest, I did not. So I signed up to check it out, to look inside of it and see what it was all about. Now, let's be up front here. I'm a trader first. I'm not a marketer. I've seen these other videos on YouTube, and these people that are putting these videos out for pretty much any trading product, they're just looking for your buck. They would not know a pip from a point. Leverage is foreign to them. They're not traders, period. So I'm looking at this from a trader standpoint, not a marketing standpoint. I trade my own way. I don't trade systems. I have my own method, mostly using price action. However, let's take a look at Forex Trendy, and this is a real review of it and what I think of it. And to be quite honest, I think it's actually a really decent product. First off, the name Trendy should give it away. It's about finding trends. Now, there are so many different types of trends, right? There's short-term trends, there's small time frame trends, there's all different kinds of trends. So when someone says to you, what's the trend? It's all time frame dependent. So the first thing is you get a lot of Forex pairs that you can scan for trends. That's huge. And on different time frames as well, which is also huge. If you look down just below here, we've got all these time frames here, all the way from a minute chart all the way up to the monthly chart. Extremely handy. I think so anyhow. Because if you've been trading, you've seen the markets recently, and we've been in a lot of chop, a lot of back and forth, whipsaw type of action. There has not really been too many strong trends in Forex, in futures, in commodities. It's just been a really tough go right now. So having something like Forex Trendy to scan all these different pairs for you, as well as gold and silver and oil, I think that's extremely, extremely handy. And it's actually really great depending on what system you trade. Now, let's be honest, Forex Trendy is not a trading system by itself. Okay, it's going to tell you where the trends are located, and you will find your own way to trade it. And I'm going to touch on something in a couple of minutes here about the patterns, which are phenomenal. So let's keep going on here. So all you do is you check out what pairs you want to scan for, the time frames, how many charts you want to show, how many 200 bars is actually pretty decent to look at. You can go higher to 300. 200 is a nice number to use. And alert when trend drawdown falls below 15%. This is actually a really good way they do this. All right, so let's take a look at the trends, for example. You can see here we've got different currency pairs. We've got the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, the hourly chart, US dollar, NOK, NOK, Euro, CHF. Anyways, a whole bunch of different pairs. Mostly pairs that people mostly don't even trade. Most people just stick to the majors. Let's just take a look here, for example. This might throw you off a little bit because it does have 1,578 pips for the drawdown, for the trend. Let's go something more in line here. There we go. Trend drawdown, 24%, 96.6 pips. And this is the New Zealand dollar US. Okay. Hitting the more button. Where'd it go? So I'll make sure I can get all this underneath here. There we go. It tells you what the trend is on the minute, on the 5, the 15, all the ones that we had checked. All right. I'm more of a swing trader anyhow. I look for 4-hour charts, daily charts. But if you're just using the New Zealand dollar 1-hour chart, you would see that we are in a trend. How early this showed you it was a trend, I don't know. I just checking this out here. But it could have been telling you it was a trend way back here. All right. Another thing, when we talk about trend drawdown, which you see right here, what it's referring to, and I think this is actually really good, you see this blue line here? It's talking about these retracements, right? These corrective moves against the overall downtrend, all right? It's actually a pattern. It's called symmetry. And what this is telling you, these corrective declines, you look for the largest one. And according to this, because it's marked off in blue, this is the largest corrective move. Okay? So what it's saying is that you're going to get pullbacks against the move. They're called corrections against the impulse move down. And all this is telling you is that the biggest one is 96.6 pips on this time frame on the hourly chart. This is really great because now you can judge how much adverse movement you're going to get against your positions. Now, I use the term symmetry. Symmetry is where you project this move from this move from this move, and you try to find where the pullbacks are going to terminate. It's actually using the 100% retracement. Sorry, not retracement, extension. I'm going to cover that in another video because I think it's a really good topic. And it's something I use anyways in my own trading, which I find very, very useful. So this will tell you, let's say, for example, you got into this trade here. Right? We know that so far a normal retrace would be 96.6 pips. Anything more than that, it could tell you that this downtrend is in jeopardy. All right, so this is a basic trading idea. You'd have your stop about 96.6 pips away, so it's around 200 pips away. People are probably thinking, well, that's a lot, right? Why not just go tight? Well, the problem with tight stops is whipsaw before the move finally goes in your direction. Whipsaw is huge, and mostly people will use tight stops because they want a larger position size. That's the wrong way to trade. You know, people will put their stop here. Even though it works on this one, it doesn't matter. You're going to want your stop up here somewhere, because even this level is violated here, it doesn't mean that this down move is violated. Okay, the downtrend. So whatever way you trade, this is actually a really good way to scan for different currency pairs to see where your opportunities, depending on whatever system you trade, which one is trending and what is a normal retrace move in that pair. Fantastic. Patterns. This is great as well. Patterns are phenomenal. I'm mostly into flags, and you can actually look at any trading chart pattern. And what are they? Right? They're consolidations, right? More or less, until they break out. So there's so many different names, right? We've got falling wedge, flags, triangles. I just look at them in just one term. I just call them all flags, right? Because they're all some variants of a flag anyhow. So what this will do, it will tell you when you've got a chart pattern setting up, okay? I only have 3 charts here. Let me see if I can get some more charts here so we can take a better look here. 20. It's going to slow down my computer. That's okay. Now we got a lot more charts. So let's look at our US dollar. It's showing just a trend line. So how are you going to trade a trend line, right? Usually trend line bounces. And you saw that pulled back here. You got your 3 touches here. Let's keep going here. Aussie, New Zealand. It's forming a triangle. This is a really large triangle. But again, you're looking at the hourly chart. I love patterns on higher time frames. This on the US dollar CAD is a flag. On gold, you have a rising wedge. And you see what happens here. And out of these kind of movements, you can get some really great trades. So what we have, we've got this line here. And you see price is making higher highs into this area here. When these break out, they usually do so with some strength. All right, so overall, it's going to show you what patterns are in play, which is absolutely a great tool to use. And if you haven't been trading patterns, I suggest you look at patterns. Completed patterns. This is actually really good. So we can look back at some of them, okay? Let's just look at my favorite stuff, triangles. It was a sell signal, right? Let's take a look. And you can see here we got a breakthrough here. And the sell signal was at 106.94. So it just basically broke. So already you're in, well, 4 pips of profit, which isn't much. But then again, you're looking at a 15-minute chart. Not my thing. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen hourly on a flag. It's a buy at 77.63. Where'd it go? Here we go. You can see that it broke out. So you're still milling about here, right? And if you know anything about patterns, when these break, you want to see, price going in your favor quite quickly. What we're getting here is price just kind of sitting aside on this line here, right in through here. These strong moves, you want to see them break out. So you're going to want to know how to manage a trade. Euro, Japanese yen, 4-hour chart. Now we're getting into some really good swing trading ideas. This was a falling wedge. It was a buy signal at 113.8. Wow, you can see here it broke out, and it did so with some strength. These are great moves. And if you missed the original breakout, right, you can see this red line here, this red candle. There's a pullback to get in this trade. So this is actually phenomenal. This was 113, and now you're up 117. Right, it's 400 pips. That's great. Depending on what kind of contracts you're trading. If you're trading a standard lot, now this is a Euro Japanese yen, so it's going to be a little bit different. So let's just keep it at standard lot. You're looking at $10 a pip. All right. If you're just trading minis, you're looking at $1 a pip. So $400, $4,000, depending on your account size. Again, looking into more swing trade. This is a buy signal on the Euro US dollar. Well, you can see this one didn't do so well. It was a break at 1187. It broke out, but you can see it collapsed back in. This is why you want to make sure you understand money management and stop placements, okay? Look again at Euro Aussie, a weekly chart, falling wedge buy signal. Where'd it go? There we go. It was a buy signal where? Right here at 1504, 150.40. It could have been this one here. I'm not sure where actually this broke out. 50.40. So this one here. So you got some nice move on this from 50.76 up to 63. Great trade on a weekly chart here. Very, very nice. So you can see that just by looking at the patterns, understanding trend, you can do very, very well just by trading simple. You don't need a whole mess of indicators. All right, Aussie, Japanese yen. We're down into, these are emerging patterns. Okay, these are patterns that are setting up. They haven't fired off yet. So you could actually bring up your chart, whatever it is, NinjaTrader, MetaTrader, TradeStation. Not TradeStation. They don't really do Forex anymore. Whatever charting platform you use. I like Sierra charts. That's what I use. You can just mark these off and look for them yourself, which is another great tool. Just paused here for a second so I could scroll into here. Just want to show you that it also has email alerts, which is great. You can send email alerts. You want to check that. Send alerts with your settings, right? So you got to keep this going on here with your own settings or with the default settings that are already set up. So you'll get all these kind of different pairs. And this is actually not too bad. This is where you can get on the moves and they jump out. Now, a lot of people I've seen in some of the YouTube comments have said, well, the trend's already going or the pattern's already gone. You can't get involved. Well, that's just people not understanding trading. There's always opportunities to get involved. For me, I enter at close. I don't use limit orders. I use stop orders. Okay, so I'll trade end of day. So if I had a breakout on a pattern, for example, let's just drop into here. I'll just use this one here. On the drop here, when this broke out and closed, I would place a stop order, sell stop, to go short right here. Right? Some traders use limit orders for the pullback. You could do that. There's a big problem with limit orders. I'll discuss that in a future video, or if you want to know, just send me an email or just drop a comment down below. So that just about wraps this review up. I think it's a great product. And I think it's a great product because we're going to understand more about trends. We're going to have something that's going to scan for trends for us, depending on whatever system you're using. It doesn't matter if you're using a robot or whatever you're using, which I would never use, which is a robot. Whatever strategy you're using. Knowing which trend is strong on which pair, which time frame is the strength of knowing that. I can't overstate that or understate that. Because it's so important. Patterns, understanding what patterns are, how to trade patterns. Again, it's another great tool to have as a trader. Understanding how you're going to. This is a buy signal. Look at this one. These are great trades. Anyhow, it's let's wrap this up here. So let's take a look. There's no thick ebooks to read. Absolutely, there's no complex software. There isn't. It's all done on their servers. You don't download anything. Live charts, the best trending currency pairs and time frames. Audible alerts, email alerts. That's huge. You can, yep, this is great too. Find your best pairs that you like to trade. Quick overview of the trends and all time frames. Vital. This is great too. This is brand new, I guess. Or they just started adding that, which is great. Let's take a look here. Knowing the trend is crucial. It's crucial depending on what you're trading. Some people are don't trade the trend at all. They trade mean reversion, which is the pullbacks against the trend. But trending for most people is the way they should go. No indicators, absolutely. They determine a trend by price action. They clearly didn't tell you how they do it. That's fine. You don't need to know. You can figure it out yourself, I guess, just by maybe they're using higher highs, higher lows. I don't know. The software runs on our computers. That's just great too. Okay, so you don't have to install anything. So you don't have to worry that, well, you need MetaTrader. Oh, you need NinjaTrader. You don't need anything except a login. That's true. This is so accurate. A lot of the systems that you see promoted, they'll give you best case scenarios, and they'll do it when the market's trending, or they'll give you a time frame that's trending. But once you get into chop, you get whipsawed out unless you change your approach. Totally agree with that. There's not a whole lot of hype on this. I'm huge at that. That's live charts, audible alerts. Again, you know what? I think this is a great product. I think it's something that if you're trading the spot market, the Forex market, you know what? I would grab it. There's no reason why you shouldn't. The pricing is, I think it's $37, and then it's $37 every 3 months. You know, that's what, depending on how many contracts you trade. You know, that could just be almost just 4 pips on a standard contract. So, anyways, I got a link below. Click that link, or click the link that you'll see here in the video here. If you got any questions, stick them in the comment section, right? Or head over to my website, drop me an email, and I'll help you out. If you do purchase it and you need some help with it, send me over your ClickBank number, and I'll confirm you bought it through me, and we'll deal with it. All right, thanks for watching.